What's going on, guys? Tyler here, and we need to pause for a second. It happened. I had a problem with Elementor. Now, with a background of coding websites, coding web apps, coding Android apps, and coding iPhone apps, I'm pretty used to running into problems in my creation process. Look, I get it. With a background of working in technology so much, I understand how frustrating it can be to run into these errors or problems or bugs or issues. I know it is so frustrating, but you got to stay positive and you got to look for a solution and a method to the madness. With that being said, let's talk about the goal for this video. This video has the goal of either providing you with a solution that fixes your problem or providing you with a method that you're going to pursue to be able to fix that problem. This video has a lot of different solutions that you can use, but at the end, in case none of those worked for you, I will have a failsafe, some method you can turn to pursue and get a solution to your problems. All right, guys, with that being said, this video does take a lot of time to make. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please consider smashing the like button if this video helps you so other people can also find this video here on YouTube, as well as hitting that subscribe button if you're interested in more Elementor videos just like this one. I have a ton of Elementor videos. I highly recommend Elementor. Smash that nice red looking subscribe button and join the family. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a way to say thanks if this video helped you at all. And of course, guys, you might be frustrated with Elementor right now, but Elementor Pro is an incredible plugin. Check out the link down below in the description. See what kind of price you can get for it. And honestly, guys, it might be more beneficial financially to purchase Elementor Pro. Imagine having to hire out a developer, hire out someone to kind of debug and figure out the issues in your website. Elementor Pro is a great option, so I highly recommend that you upgrade to Elementor Pro from that link down below in the description. And with no further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into my computer. All right, guys, welcome to I'm calling this step number 0, because this is before you actually get started in the actual solutions and changing things and altering things on your site. I always recommend that you back up your website. There's plugins that can do it, that can create a full backup of your website. You can go ahead and download the files directly. You can do whatever you need to actually back up and clone your website and have a copy somewhere. Whether you save it to your computer, or save it to your server, wherever you have it, that you have a copy of it that you could restore to at a later time if you need it. Typically, I have a lot of experience programming, coding, doing all kinds of different stuff with technology and websites and web apps. Typically, I only need to fall back on this about 5% of the time. But let me tell you, when you don't do it, and it happens to be one of those rare 5% times where you actually need to fall back on something, everything's just completely broken here, and you need to fall back on what you had originally, you're really going to wish you had a backup. So I always recommend a backup. All right, let's jump over to step number 1. All right, guys, welcome to solution number 1. Let's go ahead and just jump right into my computer here. Now, one thing that a lot of people overlook, and I'm saying a lot of people, this might seem completely obvious, this might seem totally like your first step always, but a lot of people overlook this, and that is updating your Elementor app, your plugin. So go down over here to plugins, click right there in your WordPress dashboard, and then you're going to go through and actually update this plugin. You scroll down here, it'll say out of date, Elementor is out of date. And if you have Elementor Pro, you also need to update Elementor Pro. So be sure and update both of those. It'll take just a second. Go test and see if that fixed your problem. All right, solution number 2 is actually similar to step number 0, as I was calling it, where you are actually creating a backup of your whole website. But step number 2 is actually restoring from a backup. If you have a web host, or say you've created backups of your site in the past, option number 2, which might be the fastest and the quickest method of solving your issues, is to restore from a backup. Now, I have an incredible web host. If you guys are looking to upgrade web host, because it really is an upgrade, or change web hosts, or maybe it's time to renew with your current web host, be sure and check out this web host linked down below. And I don't just say that because like they're an awesome web host, but they seriously have so many features that really just give you peace of mind. For example, my web host has daily backups of my website, meaning if I don't even do anything, my website is being backed up daily there. So I have an issue. I ran into this problem last night, for example, and yeah, I can go ahead and back up to 2 days ago and be perfectly fine. I highly recommend you check out that link to that web host if you're interested in upgrading to a awesome web host that has that feature involved. Now, if you have the option, I highly recommend that you first follow step 0, back up your website completely, then you restore from a previous backup. That would be solution number 2. There are plenty of videos here on YouTube, I'm sure, that you can find on how to actually do that process. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but that would be solution number 2. Let's move on to solution number 3. All right, solution number 3, and this is when we actually start dealing with Elementor on your website. If you're unable to access Elementor or unable to access your WordPress dashboard, this step will probably not be for you. But let's go ahead and just jump back into my computer here, and we need to be able to access Elementor and run it in some kind of mode that is disabling other plugins. If you guys saw, I have another video here on my channel. This is what the thumbnail of that video looks like. You can go and check that out. If this is the issue that you're struggling with, I would highly recommend this, but this could be a very, very common issue. And this video that I made, that I just showed a thumbnail and put that card up for, that kind of shows you a method of producing this same exact solution, but I am going to actually go through and show you how to do this here with Elementor. Now, this is funny because it actually fixed my issue that I was running into with Elementor. If you go over to Elementor over here on the left-hand side, as you can see here, we have Elementor right here. You'll go down to Tools, and once you click there, that will actually bring up all of the tools that Elementor has pre-built in. You can switch safe mode to enable. This will actually, by default, it's set to disable. As you can see, I've been running it. You can switch safe mode to enable, and you can switch debug bar to enable as well. Both of them are disabled, but I have enabled both of them here to actually go ahead and work through the solution here. So we'll hit save changes there, and then when we actually load up a page here, you can see as I go back to my pages, I'll find my 2021 home. I am redoing my home page. It's exciting. It was exciting until I ran into an issue here. But what you can do is you can actually go into here and you can see there is my header that is not showing up on my regular website. And you can see down here we now have this new window here that says safe mode has been turned on. It asks you a few things. Editor successfully loaded, still experiencing issues. Basically what this is doing is it's disabling all other plugins on your website, and you can see right down here it says please note we couldn't deactivate all of your plugins on safe mode. Please read more about this issue. So it's deactivating or disabling most of the plugins on your website. If you don't get that notification, then it's probably deactivating all of them. If simply turning safe mode on fixes your website and you're able to see everything and everything is working here on the page, then that most likely means that there's a high likelihood a plugin, a third-party plugin, is causing conflicting issues with Elementor. Because what happens is when the page is actually delivered to the user, your plugins are loaded and Elementor is loaded, and if they have problems, then it's going to cause problems on the web page. But back here in the safe mode, basically it's disabled the plugin and it's only showing what Elementor has, and that can be a possible fix, is just simply deactivating that conflicting plugin. Like I said, I do have that other video, so check that out. Again, this is what the thumbnail looks like for that. This is one method you can look for it. If that method in this video where you're using a plugin to kind of disable certain plugins, if that does not work, then I highly recommend you go through manually plugin by plugin and actually go back to your dashboard, go to your plugins and deactivate each one by itself. It will be a painful process, it'll be frustrating, but you know what? That way you will know which plugin is causing the issue. You can slowly hit deactivate here, deactivate here, deactivate here, and go one by one and see which plugin is causing the issue. Then go back to your website, refresh the page, see which one caused the issue, and you'll be able to determine. And if you don't need that plugin loaded on that certain page, or if you don't need that plugin loaded at all, I highly recommend you just deactivate it and get it out of there, or look for a replacement plugin that doesn't cause the same issues. All right, so that's what safe mode is. Let's talk about the debug bar here. So let's go back here into my computer here, and we'll jump back over to my page here that I am creating, the 2021 home, and we will actually go ahead and preview this page. All right, so as we're previewing this page, you can see again, my header is gone, my footer is gone, there's nothing here. It's frustrating, but right over here, you'll see we have a new element here that has popped up. This is Elementor Debugger. And as you hover over it, it gives you the option for page template or theme. Sometimes this debugger can tell you or kind of give you an idea of what is going on here. As you can see, I hover over Elementor Debugger, hover over theme, and it says template file, no templates for condition elementor-canvas.php, which makes me think that the issue is Elementor thinks I'm on a canvas layout instead of a normal default page layout. And so on a canvas layout, basically you don't have the header and footer. So it thinks that's what's happening here. So basically that's the best guess I have as to what is going on here. So if you guys see this debugger, you get an idea of what's going on and you're able to fix it, awesome. That debugger just helped you solve the problem. All right, on to solution number 4. Now this is similar to solution number 3, except that we're going to be working with WordPress this time instead of Elementor. WordPress sometimes has conflicting issues with their themes and with Elementor. In most cases, Elementor is innocent in this process. They don't really have any problems with Elementor itself, but sometimes there are themes in Elementor that just don't mix and they don't want to be friends. So basically what we're going to do is switch over our theme. Now this comes directly from the elementor.com suggestions of support, what they really recommend to do to be able to see if the theme is causing the issue. Now if we go back here into my computer, basically what we're going to do is go over here to appearance, go to themes, and you can see here we have a few different themes selected. You'll want to be able to switch your theme back to something normal. If you have changed it at all, you'll want to keep it here at 2017, at 2015, 2019. Those are all designed and made by WordPress. That means there's most likely no kinds of bugs in them or anything like that. You can see I have a few out-of-date versions here. You might want to update those and use those. The other theme that I would recommend is switching to the Hello Elementor theme. You can actually search or add these themes just by going up here to add new. You'll search hello and it will come up with the Hello Elementor theme. Now, once you have that installed, basically what you're going to be doing is just switching the theme by clicking over here. You just hover over a theme and click activate, and then you go onto your website, refresh, see if that solved the issue. If not, then I would come back here, switch to another theme and try it again, and just keep doing that until you've gone through basically these 4 themes: 2017, Hello Elementor, 2015, and 2019. Those are the ones I would recommend and suggest. Basically just go through and switch your theme back and forth, see what happens, if that solves your issue or not. All right, solution number 5. And after this solution, we will actually move on to the failsafe. If none of these solutions have worked for you, I highly recommend you check out the failsafe after this step. Now, this step is maybe a little bit more specific, less general, but if you are having issues accessing certain spots of Elementor, like accessing certain elements or things like that, you can actually refer to a few different things here. Let's go back to our pages here and we'll go back to the 2021 home. As you can see, also my web host is super fast and super speedy, so be sure and check out that link down below in the description. But here we are in Elementor. Now this right over here is called the navigator. Occasionally you can see here, here's your header. Sometimes it's hard to click these buttons right up here. You can see it kind of, if I hover off it, it kind of switches over to the header. Sometimes you have things that are overlapping. Sometimes you have sections that overlap or elements that overlap. Sometimes that's the only problem and you just can't figure out a solution because you know what, they're overlapping and there's no way to access them. This navigator will help you get access to those things when you can't physically click on them from where they're located. So basically, to go ahead and access that, you go down here to the bottom left corner here and you'll click navigator. This will pop up this little window here, and as you click on one of the sections, you can see now this blue outline just went around this whole section here. As I click on another section, you can see there's another section blue outlined here, and you can click these little drop down arrows and you can actually see here, I can select by column, I can select by element like slides or spacers, things like that. I can view them or turn them off like this, just like that. So if that's your issue, if you're basically just unable to select that piece of content to edit it like a section or a column or an element, use the navigator, find your little piece of content that you need to edit here, maybe this heading right here, you can just simply hover over it, right click, and make your change right there. That is super nice and super helpful. I love the navigator. Now let's talk about something else and kind of separate from this, but still having trouble accessing things. The thing I'm having trouble with is I'm having trouble accessing specific pieces of the theme builder. This also applies to templates that you may have created. Sometimes if you go over here to theme builder, things just aren't working. You're just not able to access the files in the theme builder. I'll load this up so you can actually see it here. Sometimes these files right here, you're just unable to access them. Something's kind of just gone weird, and you're unable to really make changes there to those theme builder pieces or the templates that you've made, or maybe global widgets, anything like that you're unable to access. There is a backdoor way to access these pieces of content. So what we're going to do is actually go back over to the dashboard, go back to WordPress. We're going to go over here to hit WordPress again, go back. So we're here in the dashboard basically. Under Elementor, we have right below it a templates folder. I believe this is only for the pro version. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not totally sure, but I think this is only for the pro version. We have here saved templates, and we have pop-ups, we have theme builder, add new categories. So right here, if we click saved templates, this will actually pull up here all of the different templates that we've saved, meaning sections that we've saved out of the Elementor, things like that. We can adjust global widgets right here. We can adjust total page templates. We can adjust section templates. All of this stuff is basically where your content lives, and you're able to access these individually without going through the theme builder, without going through the template selector, without any of that. We can just simply hover over something and hit edit with Elementor. This will launch up a new Elementor editor with basically just your content or just your piece of content that you're editing here to edit. Now let me show you one more thing back here. If we go back, we'll go back to templates here, and we'll go to theme builder. Now this is basically going to allow us to edit any of those files that I showed you in theme builder that we were unable to edit maybe through the theme builder. We can actually directly go to those pieces of content, bypass the theme builder select screen, and just go straight to the content. So I can go, for example, and hit edit with Elementor here on my footer, and basically you can see here is my footer, and it is just appearing right there, so I can make that change right there and bypass the whole theme builder select screen. All right guys, those are the most generic and really the most useful tips and solutions that I can provide for you. Elementor.com recommends a lot of the same ones I actually just went over, and I hope that something gave you a little bit more insight into your problem, or was able to fix your solution, give you a solution and fix your problem completely. If it did, smash the nice thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it, and hit that subscribe button. If not, guys, I want to provide you with a method of action, so you're not just like watch this whole video and then you're just stuck and you're like, nothing worked. So the method of action that I would take if I were you and none of these things worked for me is I would go over to Elementor's support page. Now here under your account, you actually log in here and you can go to the support resources and you have the option to do a few different things. You have all of Elementor's tutorials, all of their basically knowledge base, all of their tutorials, everything that they've done is here on their website, and you can actually access those things and see if maybe you made some mistakes in some of the steps there. That is your first option. The second option would be to go to the Elementor community. Basically, it says join the discussion and learn from fellow Elementor site creators on our official Facebook group. Basically, Elementor has a Facebook group with like-minded individuals that are also working with Elementor, that are also developing daily, creating websites and things like that. Who knows, maybe someone in there ran into a solution to your exact problem, and it might just be worth explaining your problem, sharing some screenshots, sharing a screen video recording, and seeing what the community has to say about it there. You can do that right here from this join the community, or I'm sure you can just look up Elementor support group on Facebook and I'm sure you'll find it there. The last option here, and I am super proud to be an Elementor Pro user because I think Elementor Pro is an incredible plugin. You can check out that link down below in the description, see what kind of price you can get for it. Like I said, an incredible plugin, but an awesome feature of Elementor Pro is they have support for you. You basically go here, and if you're encountering an issue, a bug, or an error, you can find the solution in our extensive documented library or submit a ticket. And that might just be the only solution you can come up with. If you've tried everything else, nothing's working, you basically go through there. They have like, frequently asked questions like, hey, does your, problem pertain to loading issues or to templates or to, different things that they'll suggest before you actually submit a ticket. But in the end, that's what I had to do. I really am out of options. I don't know where to turn. I don't know where to go. So I'm submitting a ticket to Elementor. As a pro user, that is one of my features that I am taking advantage of, and I'm able to submit a ticket. And somewhere I read that they are able to either log into your website on your behalf or as a temporary user, something like that, and actually make the changes, figure out a solution for you. Maybe they're able to just provide you with a simple solution, step-by-step instructions, things like that. I highly recommend upgrading to Elementor Pro. And like I said, guys, if it's just merely for the support feature that they offer right here, it might be worth it. So be sure and check out that link down below in the description. See what kind of price you can get for Elementor Pro. I highly recommend it. It's an incredible plugin overall. And when we run into an issue, it's unfortunate, but there are solutions and options for us as Elementor Pro users. Now, I do want to just say, I hope this helped you guys. I have empathy for you. I know how frustrating it can be. I hope one of these solutions helped and you were able to get it figured out and fixed. If it did, if you were able to learn something from this video, drop a like and hit that nice red looking subscribe button. Join the family and be notified of other upcoming videos like this one, but also all about features about Elementor, how to use it better, how to create things with it. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care, guys.